Welcome to This Explainer, where we are going to completely dissect exactly how to secure top marks in the sales, production, purchases, and labor budget section of your Cambridge Accounting 9706 syllabus. If you've been staring at past papers, just racking your brain and wondering what the examiners are actually looking for, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we aren't just looking at the math. Any textbook can give you the math. We're doing something much deeper. We're acting as your elite curriculum architect, decoding the precise examiner expectations, breaking down exactly where students bleed marks, and giving you the strategic, high-level analysis you need to completely maximize your score. We're going to transform how you look at exam questions.
Now, look at this number on the screen. What is truly fascinating and honestly a little bit terrifying about this number is that this single topic, budgeting, accounts for a massive 15% of your total marks in Paper 2. 15%. That makes this area absolutely high stakes. It's not just some minor footnote tucked away in the back of the syllabus, it is a grade-defining pillar of your exam. It's the difference between a B and an A-star. Mastering this means you are securing a massive high-tariff chunk of your final grade before you even walk through the doors of the exam hall. So we need to treat it with the respect it deserves.
To decode this topic today, we're following a strict agenda. First, core principles. Second, standardized methodology. Third, top examiner traps. And fourth, cracking critical evaluation. Moving into Section 1, Core Principles.
Okay, let's talk about theoretical architecture. And I want you to really listen here, because the theoretical architecture of budgeting isn't just about memorizing formulas. It rests entirely on precise definitions, understanding causal relationships, and integrating these concepts with the rest of the syllabus. When you see a complex, high-tariff question, say a 9 to 15 mark problem, you have to understand the anatomy of the command words. There is a massive difference between analyze and evaluate, or explain versus to what extent. The syllabus emphasizes that top-performing students exhibit a connected, conceptual understanding. They know exactly what the constraints of the prompt are. This means knowing precisely why a budget is structured the way it is, the cause and effect of the data, and not just how to mechanically fill in a spreadsheet.
And this slide brilliantly illustrates what principal examiners consistently report year after year. Candidates who reference cross-topic connections achieve significantly higher marks than those who just regurgitate isolated facts. Think about two types of students. Let's call them Alex and Sam. Alex is highly technical, right? Excels at facts, knows every formula, but approaches budgets as isolated islands of knowledge. Alex struggles with open-ended evaluation and hits a ceiling on the rubric. Then you have Sam. Sam is a creative thinker, strong at arguments and concepts, but maybe struggles with structural precision and timing. To get those elite, top-tier bands, assessment objectives 1, 2, and 3, you need to combine Alex's technical precision with Sam's broad cross-topic connections. For instance, showing how a change in the sales budget inherently cascades down into the production and labor budgets shows the examiner you truly understand the entire living ecosystem of the business. You aren't just crunching numbers, you are analyzing a business strategy.
Let's transition into Section 2, Standardized Methodology.
Every single time you tackle an exam question, you absolutely must follow this exact standardized sequence. We call this the 3-step question scan, built into a 5-step execution plan. Step 1, extract and deconstruct the data. Do your 3-step scan. Identify the command word, isolate the content knowledge required, and pinpoint the hidden constraints of the prompt. Step 2, select your analytical framework. Step 3, execute your analysis with incredibly clear notation. Step 4, verify your results, and Step 5, present everything using the correct professional terminology and format. Honestly, skipping even one of these steps or messing up your timing here is where easy marks are completely thrown away.
Here is a quick memory hack to stay organized and ensure you process data in the correct chronological flow. Try creating your own memorable mnemonic right now using the first letters of sales, production, purchases, and labor, SPPL. Maybe something like smart professionals, plan logically, whatever sticks in your brain. The goal is to keep your sequencing flawless under exam pressure, because you literally cannot calculate your purchases without first knowing your production, and you can't know your production without first knowing your sales. Now, before we tackle the absolute hardest roadblock in this syllabus, I need to pause for a second. If you are serious about crushing your Cambridge exams, you need consistent strategy. Hit the subscribe button right now for the channel Ace the Exams IGCSE O and A levels. That's at @acetheexam_IGCSE. Make sure you enable all notifications, click that bell so you never miss our weekly Cambridge breakthrough strategies. All right, let's get back into the weeds and look at where things go wrong.
Section 3, Top Examiner Traps.
Let's do a quick visual workshop here.
Imagine you are looking at a poorly written student answer, and your job is to spot the flaws. Examiners consistently report 3 fatal flaws that trip up even the best students. First, students frequently confuse cause and effect in these budgets. They calculate labor hours required before they've even finalized the production volume. That's a trap. Second, they completely forget to check their format and presentation. Remember, practical application means using the correct professional layouts. A messy page bleeds marks. And third, their written answers entirely lack the specific context provided in the question. If a question is about a specific manufacturing firm facing sudden supply chain bottlenecks, your evaluation absolutely must address that specific scenario. You can't just drop a generic, copy-pasted textbook definition of budgeting. You have to apply the theory to the reality of the prompt.
So the crucial point here, and honestly, perhaps the most vital cognitive strategy you will learn in this entire masterclass, is the method mark strategy. As this direct examiner alert highlights, systematically showing your process saves you even if your final calculation completely falls apart. Let's say you're taking the exam, you're stressed, and you miscalculate the initial sales figure, but you perfectly apply that incorrect figure through your production and purchases budgets. If you didn't show you're working, you get a 0. Done. But if you clearly notate your steps, the examiner can step in and award you method marks for your procedural knowledge. They call this the own figure rule. Never, ever just write down a final number on the page. Always show the examiner the precise path your brain took to get there.
Section 4. Cracking critical evaluation. Now you might be asking yourself, what exactly does the examiner need to see to award those top-tier elite evaluation marks? This is where we separate the A students from the A-star students. It is not enough to just calculate accurately. A calculator can do that. You have to step back, evaluate the evidence, look at the limitations of the data provided, and draw hard, evidence-based conclusions. You need to understand exactly what a phrase like "to what extent" demands from you structurally. It demands a balanced argument, which brings us to the paragraph balance formula.
Top-scoring candidates methodically execute this very specific comparative analysis framework. Look at this table. First, for broad analysis, they don't just accept the prompt, they question the assumptions. Is the sales forecast actually realistic given current market conditions? Then, for direct comparison, they identify similarities and differences using specific comparative connectives like whereas, conversely, or in contrast. Under validation, they don't just make claims, they support every single claim with hard, mathematical evidence extracted directly from the stimulus data. Finally, for the conclusion, they draw definitive statements about the relative importance of their findings and acknowledge the limitations of the data. This framework is your ultimate blueprint for elite evaluation marks. It takes a mediocre, purely factual answer and elevates it to a flawless, full-mark response.
To wrap this up, remember to synthesize this entire masterclass into 3 core pillars: the 3-step question scan to start, the paragraph balance formula for your evaluation, and a last 5 minutes review checklist to ensure your formats and method marks are crystal clear. Crushing Cambridge exams requires consistent strategy, so explicitly, I need you to hit the subscribe button for Ace the Exam's IGCSE O and A levels, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss our future exam hacks, and drop a comment right now with your exact target grade. Put it out there. Relentlessly practice your method marks, and as you review your next past paper, ask yourself, which of these critical evaluation frameworks are you going to implement today to guarantee those top-tier marks? Keep strategizing, keep practicing, and I will see you in the next explainer.